Last night I was speaking with my Messianic Jew friend. I, of course, brought to the table the point of view that the Bible is bullshit, and I said its contradictions are the biggest proof of it. Obviously, I was asked, like what contradiction? Ah, those sneaky Christians, the Messianic Jews, are simply another Christian cult/denomination, but they like to call themselves Jews, so I proceeded to show the most obvious of all contradictions, Judas' fate. It goes something like this. At this point she jumped in with her Messianic Jew interpretation, saying there is no contradiction. She said Judas hung himself and then fell into the ground, bursting open. So for her it went something like this. At face value, it sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Sure, if you don't use your critical thinking skills. Now I will debunk this argument. Some debunk this by saying that the person is adding to the Bible, but I will not. I will go right for the heart. Say that two people have seen the same event. Would it make sense that each would write half of what happened and the other half? No. Now let's assume the rope really ripped and only one person saw the entire event while the other half. Would it now make sense that there are two different accounts? No, one would say Judas hung himself and fell. Now let's assume one saw him get hung and left. The other came later and found him in the ground. Would it make sense now? No. Although it may be true one person may record only the hanging, the second person who saw him on the floor would have still seen the rope around his neck as well as the broken branch. Unless you want to say he was an idiot that couldn't put the two events together in his mind, which is possible, because he did buy into Jesus being the Son of God, you have no argument. But of course, no Christian would call someone that wrote in the Bible an idiot. Therefore, the contradiction is clear. But the problem with a contradiction doesn't end there. Remember the silver coins? In one story he threw them away after being unable to return them, while in the other story he used them to buy the land where he fell headfirst to die. Now her argument to justify this was that the money was picked up by someone else who went to buy the land. Since it was his money initially, Judas still bought the land. The Matthew version simply condensed that by saying Judas directly bought it. Yeah, pretty fucking stupid argument, but it is a Christian argument, so to them it is genius. Now let me ask this, if I give a bum $10, he spends it on drugs, and he gets caught, should I be jailed for purchasing drugs? Think, people. Blind out.